Boys, look who got married. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. Dragomira and our little baby are here. We finally got married in our previous live streams, and now we also have a child who will grow up in 2 years. So in this game, I believe it works, when you get married, we got married in the fall. 3 months after that, or I should say 3 seasons after that, you'll then have yourself a child if you request to have one, and then it'll take 2 years for the baby to grow up and become like a little commandable adult that you can press V on, as in Victor, and then ask them to... Why is the road all dark? Wow, it looked like a river here for a second. That's crazy. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to go up to a barn build here. We're going to jump back in time a little bit from our current settlement and build a barn that I was building up near the mine. Now, I'm starting to notice in this game that a lot of the buildings are starting to get damaged as time goes on. Our house, finally, after about 6 years, has some damage. But all of these buildings that are made out of the stick walls versus the wooden walls are really starting to take damage. Now, currently in the game, some buildings you cannot choose what the exterior building type will be. For example, the resource barn that you just saw has to be made out of sticks, the level 1. But the level 2 resource barn up here is made out of really just wood. And of course, there's other things that you can make them out of, stone, daub, and such, that will then be a higher quality. And just like in Banished, if you make your homes out of stone, it'll make them warmer in the winter and actually will increase the happiness of the residents within. Right, so we're going to build a barn that's just like this, but we're going to do it up by the mine, so that way all of the resources are linked together. Now, it seems a little bit like an exploit, but it is a feature of the game to have all resource barns connected, and we need more storage in this game. Currently, you can see that we have a little bit of storage in the game. We actually have 1,500 kilograms of storage right now, and that's almost full. So when we make the next one, we should have over 2,000, and that'll give us a lot of breathing room to have extra stuff that we need, such as logs and storage. Actually, no. Since I'm in the future, it's already built. So we need to get up to 1,500. As you can see, it's already full. So we need to really get some extra breathing room for logs and things like that. Farming going quite good in the game, too. I just wanted to kind of brief you on a few of the things here. I've built some more fences in the neighborhood as well, and this is a little glitchy. The AI is still having trouble doing farming, and it is advised that you do the farming yourself, but it is looking good, and we are very close to gaining the reputation points that we need in order to unlock, basically, the ability to have more people in the town. When we have more people, that means we can have more jobs, like fishing and bigger hunting areas and bigger farms and such. And it should be good times. All right, let's go build ourselves a barn. I'm going to jump back in time before we built this one and show you where it is and how it's built and how it's done. Let's do it. All right, a tree falling right here. Beautiful. So there's the barn that we're going to complete up near the mine. And if you're curious, again, where the mines are, I always have to remind people, because a lot of people are just getting into this game and are wondering where iron is. One of the easiest areas to go mining is just down here, this little white square just between Gostovia and Hornica. There's just off to the side a little iron mine there, and it's a great spot to go because when you get started, you first buy your iron pickaxe from there. It's really good, and then you can just walk right over here and bring your iron back, or you can sell it in order to unlock more tech. But once you get that smithy, it's a great way to make a ton of hammers and stuff in order to make some cash. So that's why we're building our resource barn here then. Now, technically we should be staying in the village and such, and I don't think any of the other villagers actually like send out people to these mines. You never see anybody else working them, yet somehow their blacksmiths and such work. So keep in mind, one of the good tactics to do in this game, a lot of little tricks in this game to kind of work around the fact that it's an alpha, like using OnStuck to teleport halfway back to your house, or stacking up a bunch of trees. We're probably gonna have to cut all these trees down right now, so that way we can make enough for the barn. So we're going to cut down all these trees and leave them in the barn in order to build it. It's really a gorgeous spot. It's like the river winds around it. It's literally next to the path. And, of course, this will be a short walk for us to deliver all of the iron now. And, again, since the resource things are linked, I used to think of it as an exploit, but it's kind of already in the game. So think of it as if you had somebody assigned to transporting stuff between the storage barns with, like, a horse or something like that. So, you know, just imagine that there's horses in here. And it's entirely possible that people would work at a mine, put things in storage, and then have it shipped via horse and buggy back to your town or something like that. These rivers in this game are just so gorgeous. They nailed the seasons in this game. Spring, winter, summer, fall, all look absolutely astonishing. Okay, so this type of building is only made with wood. The only type of material you're going to need is logs. So try to build it in a forested area, and you can ditch the sticks if you need to. One good thing to do, by the way, is to just gather all the logs you need and leave them right in the middle of the floor. And then that way, when you've got about, I think each one of these walls requires, 5. So if you think about it, we're probably going to need about, about another 50 to 60 logs to do this. So it's going to take a few trips. But it's totally, I don't know what it is, but it's so fascinating to watch this and to do this, to cut down tree after tree, cut them into logs, transport the logs to the construction site, and then build. One thing I don't know, though, in this game is when you cut down a tree, I think it's random which direction it's going to fall. I don't think you can control the way in which it's falling. All right, let's go ahead and cut these logs up. So pine trees give you 3 typically. Oak trees give you, I believe, 4 or 5. So pine trees are not as good in terms of getting lumber, but they are a little easier to cut down because they're more plentiful. And if you find an area like this, you're good to go. We're going to cut down all these pine trees first, and I see looks to be an oak tree over there. We'll keep cutting all these trees down. I think we got to cut every one of them down. And another good bonus in this game is to get the mule perk under, I believe it might be the survival tab. I can't quite recall. You'll have to look for it. But the mule perk allows you to carry 5 extra kilograms. I praise it like the sun. It is really awesome to be able to carry a little bit more. Would be cool in this game if there was some sort of a item that you could craft, like a backpack or some sort of a sack to carry more things too. Maybe a relatively expensive item that required like linen and wool and maybe leather, but of course to extend your carry capacity is a blessing in this game. All right, let's continue to cut these trees down and make logs out of them. All right, so as you see now, our carry weight is a little high. We're going to struggle to walk over to that barn, but it's still pretty cool. Nothing like a good old-fashioned barn build. This is not necessarily a barn, but it's kind of built like one. It's a very large structure with a lot of storage space, built out of logs. Pretty cool. All right, it's going to be arduous for us to walk over there. It's going to take a really long time for us to walk. So one good thing is this. If we stand here, we can actually drop these logs, and they'll roll towards the barn through the river if it works right. So let's give this a shot. 17 logs here. We could split the stack, but I just want to show this for an example, that you can actually roll logs this way if you want to. And it gets a little closer to the hut. If I go over here, for example, it would be perfect to roll right over there, probably right into the river, but about as close as it's going to get. So we can pick up those logs and split the stacks whenever we need to. Alright, so we've cut down everything here along the path. Now keep in mind in this game, trees will regrow every 2 years, and there's no need to remove stumps if you don't want to. You can punch the stumps to remove them, but you don't have to. Trees are going to regrow regardless. So unless you build a... I don't even know if you can build a farm field on a tree stump if it's been removed. The game might tag it as like a permanent item that's supposed to regrow. That I'm not entirely certain of. So, good experiment, I guess, for the comment section down below. And if you haven't said hello so far, make sure you do. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't smashed that like button, please do, because I want to keep making these videos. I love this game so much, and I'm so happy that you guys love it too. And it's really just like a big win-win for all of us, because I like it, you like it, and it's just fantastic. These are maple trees here. I think there's oak trees in the game as well. Maple trees give you, I think, 1 more log. Let's see here. 1... Yep, 2, 3, 4. So there's 2, 3, and then 4 is over here. Excellent. Alright, we're getting encumbered again. Let's keep going for these big oak pine trees. Now, I've also noticed that some of these trees are bigger and smaller, but I haven't noticed a difference in the amount of logs they give you. So I've seen the scale of maple trees sometimes be really huge, but they still give you like 4 logs. Alright, we're almost to our maximum carry capacity again. Right, now keep in mind, in order to build the barn, you'll need the hammer too, which is what I was using to kind of inspect the walls. So anytime you build in this game, you'll need a hammer. Same with repairs. You can go into inspect mode. Alright, we're going to stand here and see if we can do a good old-fashioned log roll in better spirits here. Oh, and we probably should drop our sticks. That'll help us to carry more logs. There we go. That's a good example. Nice. And right into the river. Cool. Alright, we're going to drop some sticks so we can increase our log carry capacity. You gather sticks automatically every time you get logs, but we won't need those for now, and sticks are pretty plentiful. Nothing like building in the wintertime. Wintertime is a fantastic opportunity to build because there's really not much else you can do aside from gather materials, trade, and build, because there's no plants to harvest usually. There's no things to plant. You can do onions in the winter, but it gives you a lot of good time. Of course, you have 3 days per season in this game to build, so it really does make a difference. All right, there's one more log here. Perfect. All right. So I think in total we have over pretty close to about 30 logs down there so far. And if we harvest any extras, we can always just go ahead and put them right into storage and make firewood out of them too. Another good reminder is your people will first use sticks in your storage if you do not have firewood made, and then they will start using your logs. So keep in mind, if you're cutting down a lot of trees and putting them in storage and they keep disappearing, and same with sticks, your people are using those for heat. So make sure that you make firewood. You can get 4 firewood at the current moment or 1 log, so it's a really good turnover rate, but people use a lot of firewood. So for my 7 people, I think I use around over 300 firewood per winter. So it's a good idea to have much more in storage and ready to go. So maybe have around maybe 500 ready to go for a couple of years, and then you can always add to it later, just in case they use a little extra. Alright, now again, increased quality homes. That's what lowers the use of firewood, just like in Banished, if you remember that. Very brutal city builder, very difficult, and really a rewarding challenge once you get a village up and running. Okay, we have ourselves 2 more trees here. We're getting to that carry capacity again. Now this is the increased capacity, by the way. There we go. Logs ready to go again. Ooh, we might not be able to move if we pick up any more. Alright, we'll come pick up the rest of those in just a minute. Okay, let's see how much of the barn we can build after this drop-off. We have 1 log inside the barn. We have 1 over here on the left side and another one on the right. I'd forgotten about that one inside. We have 4 full stacks of logs. Let's see what we can do with those. And we'll go ahead and drop these. And we'll drop these sticks as well. Great. Okay. Let's go ahead and start picking up these stacks. So we have 17 logs each. Let's see if we can get inside. Now, I'm hoping in the future that in this game, citizens who live in your villages can work on building and work on repair with you. It'd be really cool to be able to assign somebody like at the workshop to also be like a builder or a repairman. So that way you can have all of your people help out with maintaining and building structures, and you don't have to do everything yourself, making up for the fact that the game's not multiplayer. Multiplayer, you'd have somebody going out and gathering all the materials needed to build a barn, and then somebody else just kind of putting it all together. Let's go ahead and make sure we drop these. There we go. Alright, good. And 1 more stack. This might be enough, but maybe not, to build the whole thing. So we'll start with the 14 in our storage, and let's get building this barn. So each wall takes 5. Boom, there we go. Now I don't think you can customize the walls of this either. Where the windows are permanent. And I think there might also be like skylights or something maybe that can be opened in this. I'm not entirely sure. You can see how quickly we go through materials though. Look at that. Now we still have the roof to do. We might have to come back for another trip. Boom, boom. Nice. One thing I'd like to see is instead of green, I'd like to see it be partially built. I hope that's an update in the future where it'll show, instead of just to get darker and darker green and then finally pop in. It'd be kind of cool as if you were swinging your hammer, pieces would appear on the screen. But at least it does help you to see how far you got to go. Okay, so we're going to finish what I believe is the gables. Is that correct? These corner pieces for the roof. And then we just need to finish the roof itself now. So that's 5 each, so we will have to do another trip. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the roof is built in half section. Oh, no, wait a minute. Well, this... Okay, that's kind of strange. This roof piece here is in its entirety together, is it not? Huh. That's weird. So I'm not exactly sure if it's half here and then 2 separate pieces here. I don't think so, though. So it should be 5, 10, 15, 20, 5 plus 3. So we got 28 logs that are needed, maybe, or more. But let's go get some more. Alright, so let's see. Our axe and hammer. We'll leave these here. Try to increase our carry capacity. Good tactic there to leave your tools on the ground. Another thing, FYI, if you leave your tools on the ground during an update between saves, you may lose them. So if you go to the iron mine and you've left a bunch of pickaxes they could disappear. That happened to me. Luckily, it was only just 2, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But now that we have our barn here, we can always just run and get our axe from here and then run to the mine. The mine is over there, and it's also defended by 2 bears, so keep in mind it might be a good idea to at least bring a spear. Spears are really easy in this game to make and find. That's why I praise the spears, because you just cut down a tree. You cut down a pine tree, you have yourself 3 spears. And 2 of them to take down a bear with a headshot. You can pick up another spear and kill the other bear if you want to. But usually I just run around the bears. The bears at this moment cannot go in the caves. So it's a really good way to just kind of walk past them, go into the mine, do your stuff, walk past the bear again. It's pretty easy. The bears are pretty easy to avoid. Alright, we have a couple of trees there. I like how we've clear-cut mostly the pine out of here. It really looks cool. We're going to increase the amount of logs we have then. So what did we need again? 20 or so? We'll have to have 2 more big O stacks. Also, I don't know if you can get killed by these trees falling. I'm always superstitious about it. So I always just get out of the way. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. Alright. This has got to be the greatest logging game I've ever played. Just doing things by hand is so satisfying. I wonder if they'll get more intricate with details of having to, like, use a saw or something like that to cut materials down into smaller pieces. Most things seem to be done with the axe, though. Or the hammer. And it'll automatically make them the size that they need. Alright, we're almost there, folks. A little bit more. Very, very satisfying to build these buildings. Very exciting to put down the frame. Keep in mind, when we started building this, too, it was already partially built during one of our live streams. So again, just to remind you, turn on those notification bells so you don't miss out on streams. Give me a 1 down below in the comment section if you've seen the streams a few times, if you're a frequent visitor. And I like doing these little videos to kind of recap you on what we've been doing and what's been going on. The game has slowed down a bit because we've been focused more on quests and building our neighborhood a little bit more. But it's not like it's a bad thing. Keep in mind, feathers also fall from trees, so if you're looking to get more arrows and you're doing some logging, a good tactic is to cut down some trees and then go into the survival view. Right now I've got so many feathers I don't know what to do with them all, so I'm not gathering them. Plus, this is just kind of a one-off recording, but it is good to be mindful that you'll always need feathers if you're going to make arrows, and you need quite a bit of them. You need about 50 to make a stack of wooden arrows, I believe. Okay, let's go ahead and drop these logs. Let's drop these sticks over here. Okay. Nice. And I think 1 more stack should do us. Let's see here. Always have more than you need. You can always store it, I suppose. Better than going back. I just love seeing how many trees we cut down to do this. It really shows you how many materials it just took to make a single building. And for this being made by a single man, that is a lot of work. Because between the logs, there's also, like, I believe a mud... I don't know if this was used at the time, but I think it's like mud, manure, clay, and straw, I think, that are used in between. But there's probably many different materials that were used to somewhat insulate it. And not really insulate, but really just fill the gaps between the logs. And make everything stick together. Oh, there's a log up in the sky. Well, there you go. A couple of freebies. Always good to use that survival mode and look up and see what got caught in a tree. Trees can get caught in each other, so that's a thing. Alright, let's get this tree cut up. There we go. Nice. This should be enough. Go ahead and have ourselves a little sippy sip. Gonna have a drink now at the stream. Beautiful. And we'll go drop these logs off first, and then we'll grab the other ones and bring them here too. And we'll grab our tools. Okay, let's drop these logs. We can hold on to the stick. Let's actually finish this and see what we can do. We'll pick up the hammer instead. Be kind of cool if you could hang your hammers up somewhere rather than just leaving them in a box. Okay, we'll grab these. Ah, this section is done together. That's interesting. So from the exterior, that's like half the barn right there. This is a little different because it's kind of the entryway, so it's taller. And then this piece here. Ah. So it's really like you need 5. Well, yeah, I guess it is made in 2. No. 5, 10, 15. Interesting. Now, where did we leave those other logs? There they are. Perfect. Oh boy, it's going to be heavy. Would be nice if there was a perk for you to be able to run if you were over encumbered. But that's okay. Alright, it'll be slow go. Look at the detail, though, at the bottom of that barn. Really good. They've made the bottoms of it really look nice. When you place down a building, you get the foundation already built and the frame already built, so you don't have to do everything. But it still is pretty tedious to build a building. But it's to the point where it's like, it's tedious without getting boring. Alright, we'll speed up a little bit as we continue to put things in the barn. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have it. Wow, okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections of the roof that you need to worry about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, okay, cool. And there you go. You see the connection between all of these little barns now. That's great. I should have put a pickaxe in here, but we might have one in storage at the mine. But I'll go show you the mine, and we'll bring a wooden spear, a couple of wooden spears, and we'll deal with our bear problem today. Actually, we're a little over encumbered still, so let's drop off these logs and sticks. And we don't have any firewood in here, so right now... Oh, yeah, we did. We had a little firewood in there. Is there something we got to eat? No. It's alright, we'll grab something to eat later. You can eat pretty much anything in the forest. A little harder to come by in the winter, but with some sticks and the killing of a deer, we have ourselves some meat, and we're okay. Alright, let's go up here and find ourselves a bear. So when you come up here, there are 2 bears that could appear. Typically, I've only seen one until later in the game where there's 2. We got one bear right up there and another bear right over here. A couple of tactics to get around the bears for the time being, although it is a little cheesy. But for you newer players, here's something you could do. If you lure the bear onto you and you sprint away, yeah, watch for the swipes, you should be able to make a beeline for the cave, which is over on the right side when you're coming up from that path. So, once you're inside, the bear is not permitted to follow you. He'll try, though. Sir? There you go. So try to get a headshot on him times 2. That probably hurt. And there you go. Now you can kill the bear for some meat if you need to. We don't have a knife on us at the moment, but easily craftable by basically just getting some rocks together, and you can get some good meat from that. And fur. Great to make little boots and stuff out of that if you get the crafting, the sewing table up. And this is also a quest, too. To kill a bear, you'll have to hunt them later in the game. So keep that in mind. You coming down here, Barry? Oh, he is. Lodi, he coming. Wait, what are you doing? What is he doing? Sometimes the AI is a little goofy. I don't know what to say. It works pretty good, though, for this not being like a hunting game or anything like that, though there is a lot of hunting to it. What is he doing? I've never seen the bear do this before. Keep in mind, you throw your spear a little bit to the right, so if you aim here, this should be a headshot right here, unless he turns his head. He did a little bit. Oh, don't give me that look. There we go. Nice. Well, more of a... Wow, more of a neck shot. Okay. Where'd he go? There he is. Okay, so there you go. You can get your spear back, too. If you look at him at the right angle, you can see it kind of going right through his, really through his neck. But a little harder to get a headshot aiming up, especially at a bear that kind of has more of a neck than it does a head. Pretty good kill, though. So now we can work in the mine carefree. I believe the bears won't spawn back, or creatures won't spawn back until you skin their bodies. But they will eventually, these will definitely despawn, and then they'll come back. So if you leave the 2 carcasses here, it'll just increase the amount of time for them to come back. And also, all the rocks and such inside the mine will come back every season, too. So if you have a pickaxe left here, which I do, then you can go ahead and, boom, you can keep mining each season. Alright, now we've gone over mining before, but I just wanted to show that in this mine you get rock, salt, and iron. And from each of these you can pick that up if you need. Rocks, of course, make knives, so we can take care of the bears. Salt can be used to preserve fish and other meats, and iron, of course, is what we're really looking for to fill up that barn. So we almost have an unlimited amount of stuff now. So when we're done at the end of the day, we can leave food in that barn. We can leave the pickaxe in the barn and stuff, and then run up here, and then pick up that stuff and gather it again. Alright folks, well that is it for my Medieval Dynasty video here today. I hope you enjoyed our videos, brief, but definitely detailed about all the things that you can do in Medieval Dynasty, with more updates to come, horses to come, bandits to come, and of course beekeeping and pottery on the way, as well as more challenges and events, and also quests to increase that Dynasty reputation. I hope you enjoyed our live stream earlier today, and there's another one later today too, so if you watch this, make sure you look for those live streams, and we'll see you guys on the channel later. Have a fantastic day, and thanks for being the best community on YouTube. That's y'all. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you next time. Damn, isn't that barn beautiful? Look at that. By the way, H key to remove the HUD. H is in Hector or hotel. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.